Hey, here we go. It didn't like the email address,
Oh, if only it would said that.
right?
And just as I took a bite of my sandwich as well. Right.
You're good. And we're live. Here we go. Hey, everybody, welcome. We're running a little bit late. I ran into some technical difficulties because it is 7 a.m. here in California, and I completely forgot to take the email address out of the username. So, hey, there you go. That's our fun for this morning as I stressed out over, oh my God, I'm not going live on time. So let me introduce you to Ruth. Ruth is my friend. I'm gonna have her tell you all about her, where she's located, all the good stuff. But she has two books we're gonna talk about today. I met Ruth, must have been what, 3 years ago now. So super excited to be able to do this, and share her books as well as eventually talk about mine too at the end. So Ruth,
Hmm.
what Ben, tell us all about you. What are you doing? Both your books. Tell us why and all the fun stuff.
Cool. Well, yeah, my name's Ruth. I live in England, quite near London. Takes me about 20 minutes to get into London. So that's where I'm located. I've lived here all my life. I was born with allergies. And to start off with, it was eczema, asthma, wheezing, and then discovered that I had a nut allergy. And then throughout my life, I've developed more and more allergies. I now have four life-threatening allergies and loads of other things like pollen,
Oof.
cats, dogs, latex, nickel. Um, I have once been called the most allergic person in the world, but I know that's not true. And also, every chef's worst nightmare, which probably
Yeah.
is true.
Mhm.
So I have a blog. It's now a teenager. It's about 15 years old, my blog, which I can't believe I've been doing it that long, called whatallergy.com. And it started as a bit of fun. And I have to confess, I haven't done a blog for ages, although I've got three that I've been writing. I can't quite finish them, and you just keep
Yes.
tweaking things. So I need to get back into blogging because I love it and I've neglected my blog. And over lockdown, someone asked me to write a book, which is my first book. And I said, first of all, I was like, I can't write a book. And she was like, you've got so much information. Some of it's in your blog, some of it's in your head, and you need to share it. So that was such a huge opportunity to write this. I would never have probably done it if someone hadn't asked me to do it. So Anaphylaxis, the Essential Guide is for adults. It's for anyone really, but it's more talking about the anxiety and how you actually live with it. Because there's loads of books out there, there's loads of cookery books out there, but actually living with the fact that something you eat could kill you
Hmm.
any day is actually
Yep.
quite hard
Yeah.
in principle.
Yeah.
And then, so that was like therapy, writing that.
I
It,
bet.
it it wasn't what I initially thought it was going to be, and we had to add things in because as I'm writing it, I'm thinking I actually don't do this in practice. I'm actually really bad advocate. I need to go out and start living my life a bit more because I'd become quite small, hiding away in fear because I am
Yep.
frightened of anaphylaxis. So it was really powerful to even write. And the second one is we probably won't talk about today, but I went through topical steroid withdrawal, which was a skin condition that happens when you suddenly the topical steroids stop working. So I won't talk much about that, but I spent a lot of time not being able to sleep, and writing is my therapy. And I wrote hundreds of poems and I would share them on my Instagram. And it was one of my friends, also called Amy, who said, please send me them. So I just put them in a PDF and sent her them. And she was like, you need to make this a book. And initially I was just sending them to people, like, here are all my poems. And I was like, no, I can do books. So I published a book of poems as well, which was something I did on my own, like self-published, which was really good fun.
So that sounds amazing. My question is, what led to having to go through the withdrawal on that? Did you have an allergic reaction to it, or did it just stop working?
I don't know. Someone asked me this just at the weekend. I did not, because people are like, well, would you just still keep using them and you wouldn't have to have gone through that? But I I didn't change how I behaved. I was born with eczema. I've always used topical steroids as directed, never on my face. you use them for, and the directions change over time, right? They're
Yep.
different now to when I was first diagnosed, but you would use a bit there, the size of your fingertip, for the size of the back of your hand, for instance, which is actually quite a lot of topical steroid. I probably didn't use quite that much. And then I would stop using after a week. I followed all those directions, and for some reason in my 40s, and I don't know why, they stopped working, and I was using more. Like I would go 6 months or a year without using them. But I realized that I couldn't, that it was flaring up and I couldn't actually stop using them, and I
Wow.
didn't know why. So then I got given different things like immunosuppressants and oral and topical, and at the same time they're saying still use the steroids, and I'm like, but the steroids are not working, are they?
Okay. Yeah.
What I didn't realize at the time was that they'd done this so much damage to my skin. And if you Google topical steroid withdrawal, there is a society for it, a charity in America who are amazing.
Wow.
Um, and I should have been prepared with what it is, but I can't remember what it's called now. It's an acronym. It will
It's
come to
okay.
me, and I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
But yeah, they really helped me, and it's crazy. I would still be using them if they worked. But I had to go
Wow.
through this kind of horrible, like my skin just completely broke down. Was not nice.
That sounds
Really
like my
hard.
reaction. Yeah, when I had to
Nice to
stop
be.
using all things based on corn, I had this some really
Mm.
similar, not as bad that I needed a
It lasted
support group.
years, and I'm like, what's going on?
Oh my
Why?
God.
I had to withdraw from the paraffin emollients as well because I was
Wow.
just smothering them, and I always have done, and that also was a problem. My skin was never being just skin; it was just completely. I was washing in the stuff, so I withdrew from that
Oh wow.
too. It was an interesting scientific experiment that I kind of just thought, you know what, I'm just going to try and do the opposite of what my doctor says and see what happens. It's not life-threatening. And I
But
don't
I did,
use hardly any moisturizer anymore. And it's blown my mind really.
right? It's
I've got
so
my
sad.
life back. I couldn't go anywhere
Yeah.
without tubs of this stuff.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat. Like I stopped having to use so much stuff because your face, your skin, your body does so much naturally.
Mm.
We're almost disrupting all those natural systems when
It's the
we add.
largest organ in your body, and like when you're having an allergic reaction, you have to listen to those signs, don't you? Like lip tingling, tongue tingling, throat swelling.
GI issues.
If I ignored those, I would end up still eating a food that, and I could make myself even more ill. But we do with our skin. We're like, we don't like that. Let's put
Yeah.
something on, a sticky plaster, it feels like. Let's cover that. We mustn't have any sort of rash, or we ignore. Our body is screaming at us. Like when you
Yeah.
see someone with bad eczema, that body is screaming for help and for some change. But the problem is nobody knows
To
what
look.
to do
Yeah. Yeah.
because
We're
it's
so
different for
focused.
everyone.
We're so focused on a symptom, we don't focus on the root cause, and
Mm.
that leads to so many things. So,
And no one is the same. So that's what's so
so
hard with it.
before we move into your other book, do you have a favorite poem and a page number in that
Oh,
one?
I've got so many poems. Shall I do a positive one or a really dark one?
Ooh, what do you
I'll do
feel
a
like?
really I'll do a really dark one. If I can find it. There's one about scratching till there's nothing left,
Oh, yep.
which I now, you're
Anyone?
right, I should have put bookmarks in. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna look it up. Um, I don't know if I do have a favorite. I like them all. They're all for different.
For
I'll
different
read a
reasons.
love letter. No, no, no. Now I'm just not reading anything. Here's one. Here's one. For the first time in my life, I see my face in the mirror and not a mask. Because I used to feel like I was putting masks on, like whether it was makeup or I can't not have this protopic or these immunosuppressants.
Yep.
The first one I wrote is called Spring Betrayal, and it's not actually about skin, although hay fever really affects my skin. So this one in March, it starts. The sniffs and smarts, my eyes are streaming, and I'm dreaming of winter and Arctic winds to cool my cheeks, and weeks of snow and rain with no release. until at last the snowdrops peek their delicate heads to meet the early dawn, and I am one. I am undone, willing on the coming spring, feeling warmth upon my spring, my skin, the first weak rays of tender sun, and then in March it starts. It's
Yeah.
actually January that it
Right.
starts. But yeah, I hate hay fever, and then I'm always waiting for spring, and then I forget how bad
That
my
it,
skin gets. Because it's skin as well as my eyes and nose.
yeah, it's everything. It affects everything. Our, yeah. And we're sensitive enough people that it just going outside in the air, we're going to have a reaction to
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So talk about your other book, the basic guides of how to live with it. You said earlier that it was really because there's no really guides about how do you deal with the just the mental space of having to be know that something could kill you any second.
Mm. It's really horrible. It is like
It,
having a sniper following you around because I make mistakes. And I did go through a period of having panic attacks. I think it was after I had a really bad reaction in America. So I was away from home, and then I had another bad reaction when I got home, and I was now going unconscious with these reactions. That had never happened before. So
oh,
I can't advocate for myself. Like sometimes I'm aware that they're asking me questions or talking about me and I can't respond. And
answer. Yep.
it's the weirdest sensation. Like, has she used her adrenaline? And I'm like, yes, they're on the floor. Can't you see them? But I'm not speaking.
Yeah.
Um, so I just started getting panic attacks. I would go into a restaurant and try and order something and I couldn't. And if someone was even being nice, I would start crying and have to leave. I couldn't travel. I would get stuck on the underground and not be able to get somewhere. And I just realized I was internalizing it. I wasn't asking for help.
Yeah.
I wasn't telling my friends and family how hard I was finding it. So I was trying to do all of this on my own and without being able to express how terrifying it is because I had nearly died now twice. So yeah, this book was just exploring that because I did quite a lot of therapy. I was fortunate to get some therapy, CBT therapy. And that's all based around the fact that you're okay. You can breathe through a panic attack. You aren't going to die. And I did it with lots of people with different conditions that they would have fear and panic and anxiety for. Someone who had constant pain, someone who had MS, and that was really helpful for us, all of us, to meet each other and realize that we all had the same sort of situation that we were in from different starting points. But
Yep.
when I'm having a panic attack, I don't know
No.
if I'm okay. So it kind of didn't work. So I realized that I was doing this therapy and yes, if it's a panic attack, then I'm going to be okay. But if it's not just a panic attack and I have eaten the wrong thing, I'm not
Yeah.
going to be okay. And that's quite hard to unpick that to realize what you have to do to stay safe, which is you have to just be on the ball all the time,
Mhm.
prepared. There's no
Yep.
holiday. There's no holiday from
Mm-mm.
it, and that's quite
Yep.
exhausting.
It really is. It
Mm,
absolutely is. And did you run into an issue? I see this a lot where people assume like restaurants, chefs, even like food companies understand how ingredients are made. So they'll just say, "Oh, you're fine. That gets processed out." Like it really
yeah,
does.
no.
How did
Sometimes it does. That's what's so confusing. But yeah, I have a rule now, and it's if I can't see the ingredients and I can't actually tell, then I won't take a risk. Like if it's a bread that
yeah.
you've made for me and you've said it's absolutely fine,
If,
but you
but
won't show me the ingredients, I won't. I just can't.
no, yeah.
I have lovely
I
friends that will make me something and I'm like,
mm-mm.
sorry. I think they hate me, but it is hard. And I don't trust anyone now,
You
not
can't,
even
right?
myself.
No.
I will
I
read ingredients 5 times, then get home and take a bite and it's got milk in. Like, how does that happen?
well, right. When I was in the middle of writing my book, food companies had found a new way to hide dairy in their
Oh no,
products. And
Why?
all my people who had either lactose intolerant or dairy allergies were ending up in the ER.
I've actually never heard of this. How are they hiding dairy in a product?
It's the American way. That's what they do with their food. You hide product. A lot of it ends up in natural flavorings, or
Right.
so if it says natural flavors on it, they found it in, I'm trying to remember, and I've been meaning to reach out to my friends to find out what they determined the end cause was, but there was like a lactose-free whey that actually had dairy in it. Like, I'm like, what? Wait, that is
Yeah. But that's where the confusion comes in because lactose-free whey is fine if you've got a lactose intolerance, but it will
but the
have milk protein in it. And I
and
was on a cruise ship where they just did not understand that. They were like, yes, it's lactose free. And I'm like, that is not what I've never said lactose to you.
lactose,
I can't have the milk. So don't care if it's lactose free. I can't have the milk. And
right?
they're like, well, just give her the lactose free then, shall we? And it's not. It gives me a reaction. It's not safe. But it's weird. It's like this, they're interused, aren't they? Dairy free, lactose free. They're not the
Everyone assumes
same.
it's, yeah. There's two different names because it's two different things.
Yeah.
Like,
They do need to be two different things. Lactose-free milk is a godsend for a lot of people, but
people,
not for
right?
me.
No, no. Well, it's like, I can't eat any animal or have any byproduct if the animals had corn, so I don't drink milk. But everyone assumes then like almond milk and oat milk and all these other things are safe, and they're not because the container they're stored in is made from corn.
Oh my goodness,
And I
really?
react, yeah, and I react to the containers. So
Oh,
there's unless it's a glass container. And it was a cow raised purely on grass or ranch raised. I actually lost milk when I came to California. There's no such thing as safe milk in California. So
wow. We do have a lot of grass-fed products over here, actually.
I'm not gonna lie, like moving to like England or like the island looks so appealing.
And a lot of
We
glass.
have food allergies.
We've gone mad on the plastic and not making like too much packaging. So there's a lot of glass things as well now, which is really good.
Yeah. Well, part of my book I even talk about like the new reign of plastics is PLA, and those plastics are made with a corn base. So if I touch a PLA plastic, it literally burns my fingers because there's that much corn in it.
Wow.
Well, they also don't aren't as environmentally friendly because of that lovely sleight of hand trick they do in marketing. So
And corn is not in the top. You have 10, don't you? Or is it 11? We have 14. It's not in there.
we have nine. We just got to nine like 2 years ago.
And we
No, we
have
don't have
14, but
10.
we've got so many hidden in there. There's a word that contains many.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and
So
a lot of yours goes into really understanding gluten and all the
yeah.
ways that wheat becomes an allergen, which is really the big difference between the EU and other and European countries in general versus the United States.
Mm.
Uh, we it's
You
just
have
not
wheat in
recognized.
yours. You have wheat. So we don't, we just have
Yeah,
gluten containing ingredients, but we don't
yeah,
separate wheat out, which it does confuse a lot of people. And I'm
yeah.
like, I don't have a celiac. I'm not gluten intolerant. Even
It's
that if
like
that is that even a thing, but I can't have
it.
wheat. And they're like, so you can't have the rye then? No, I can have the rye, but it's got gluten in it. It's so confusing.
It is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like the only noodles I have found that are safe are rice noodles because like
Mm,
buckwheat is I have massive reactions
I
to
love
like
rice
buckwheat
noodles.
and eggs noodles, all that. But I discovered there are rice noodles that I react to and I react really hard to. So I have to be super
Wonder
careful.
why.
It because I'm a parts per billion sensitive, it really comes down to what was the field or that rice paddy the rice was grown in, and then the processing.
So
What
there's
I
probably
find
some
is,
corn in there somewhere.
yeah, it's could be pesticides, could be fertilizers, it could be anything. Like, you're talking about how you have friends that make you things and you're like, I can't do that. I literally had friends bring me fresh fruit and vegetables from their garden, and I couldn't eat it because they used Miracle Grow and it wasn't a true organic soil. or they planted corn in their garden and I couldn't take the risk of
No.
cross-contamination from the soil. So I get it.
Gosh, that's so restrictive. I feel like that's even harder though.
It,
You're
in the United States, it's much harder.
Mm,
I was in France this past summer. It was super, like I went down on the very last day we were in town only because I was dumb and drank coffee, an espresso shot out of a paper cup. The paper cup knocked me out for eight
mm,
hours. So, but for the most part, it was great. I got to live, and what was so amazing is there was no cravings. Like where we were, I got to eat all the regional organic foods. I would like eat, I understood now why people can only can get away with one or two meals a day. You don't crave
mm,
anything. You just eat and you move on with your day and you don't think about it. It's not there. Here in the US, a lot of people have cravings and we're always because we're not feeding our bodies proper nutrition because of the
mm.
food we have. So,
That's interesting. I did not find France helpful at all.
oh, where did you go in France?
I went to Paris,
Oh yeah,
which
I did
is
not go to
probably the
Paris.
rudest place to go, isn't it? But I just did an Instagram reel of this waitress and I actually missed off what she said finally. But we managed, we cooked it in our apartment and I took
Yeah.
lunches, but every time I tried to eat somewhere in Paris, they would look at my allergies. So I had it translated on a card and they would go, do this little I don't even know it's a word, it's not. They just go and then go away and come back and they say, no. They just hand it back. There's no discussion. They've gone to the kitchen, they come back, they go, no. Straight faced. So it was like a bit of a laugh. We did laugh about it, but
So we went to
good.
the Alsatian region, which is like, it's a very organic area between used to be Germany and Switzerland to the south. And um, so they have their own culture there. The only places I got that kind of reaction is that when I ate at the Michelin star restaurants. And we did two because it was our wedding anniversary and my birthday while we were there. But that was the only thing. And what was interesting is those were the only two restaurants that used American ingredients in their food. So super high
Mm,
quality, they're charging you more for food and they're using cheap ass American ingredients. I'm like,
wow.
really? Yeah, no, no. Their chocolate was everyone's like raves about the chocolate in France. I'm like, I got sick eating a sample. No. And then I got sick at the first restaurant because they did in-house chocolate desserts and you had this whole like gorgeous, looked beautiful, made me sick because their chocolate was made with American ingredients. And I'm like, that is like, you
You're
can't even
just trying to
classify it
escape.
as chocolate at this point.
You don't want American chocolate in France, do you? You want Belgian or, something.
Right? Right. But unfortunately, there's too many like base ingredients that are being pulled in from the States because
Mm,
they're lab created, so they're cheap, and lab created ingredients start with corn. So your
mm,
dextrose, your um,
yeah.
even cocoa powder. Like, why? Just get the good stuff. Like, you're gonna
Yeah.
charge me for it. Get the good stuff.
I tend to find high-end restaurants are usually better for me. But if I turn up somewhere, I have to do the
You
pre-planning.
have
If
to
I
do the
turn up
pre-work.
somewhere, it can be a little bit dicey. But if they know I'm coming,
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
obviously agreed to my going.
So here's my question. What's the pre-work you do? Like when you think about when you're gonna call ahead to a restaurant, what are the questions you're asking in advance?
So I will usually, first of all, I look online because that does give me a good indication if they have any sort of menu online. Quite often there's nothing, so you don't know. They might have a really good menu, but they don't put it on their website. So I
Yep.
will start by looking at the menu. Quite often that menu's out of date, but it gives me a starting point.
Yep.
And then I will phone up, find out who I need to email. So I will have a phone conversation, but I will also email with my allergies and what can be done and what can't, like
Yeah.
what risks, i.e., none. Because I know some people aren't actually deathly allergic, so I will explain like what precautions they need to take. If I can, I will go there. So if it's near me, it isn't always possible to do that if you're going on holiday. But I
Yeah.
will go there and talk to them. And I will always go earlier than I'm meant to if I can to have a talk to them particularly if it's a bigger group, because I hate that conversation happening at the table of, oh, and everyone's going, whoa, you're allergic to so many things. What can you eat? And I just hate it. It's so boring. There's so many more interesting things we can talk about. But yeah, so it's like a military operation, really,
It
of
really is.
planning.
Yeah. Do you ever,
Occasionally I
yeah.
just walk in somewhere and it works, but that's quite scary.
Yep. You're like, I need food now. We're just going to
Yeah,
make this happen.
I'm gonna try. Yeah.
So, when we talked a few years ago, you talked about how you weren't able to go to coffee shops and trying to get them to understand like the like lactose dairy allergy. How
Yeah.
has that stayed the same? Has there been any new education out there?
It's it's the vapor. So like you with your
Yeah.
corn, even if you were having a cup of tea with cold milk poured in, that doesn't affect me at all. You can have milk, you can guzzle milk next to me and I'm okay. But if you vaporize it, if you which we do, we froth it,
The
we
froth.
steam it,
Mhm.
and I'm in a small coffee shop trying to just live in there, even if I haven't ordered it.
Yeah.
I used to think I was getting cross-contamination, but I when I realized how careful some people were being, I realized that it was just as soon as I left, I would get better. It was me breathing in the
Yeah.
vapor. So I've found a couple of cafes with a back door that other people don't like them because they're quite drafty. But the back door opens when anyone goes to the kitchen, the storeroom or the toilet, and the front door opens when people come in, and it's
Yeah.
much, much easier. Or if I can sit far away from the steamy bit.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I like going to small independent cafes, and so I
Yeah.
spend a lot of time outside under blankets.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so my friends are all like, "Oh, can we sit outside? Because we've got Ruth with us," and they're all really kind about it. So
Oh,
we just sit outside if I
yeah.
can't breathe, or we go in, and if I can't breathe, we leave, get
Yep.
to go cups and go.
Yep.
Because it is me breathing in the vapor is enough.
Yep. Yeah.
Scary.
I'm airborne allergic as well. So like I can't be in the room where popcorn is being popped. And if I'm at an amusement park where they're everywhere, I
Oh
literally have
yeah,
to see the popcorn and go as far to the other side as possible. I can't walk next to it without having an instant headache.
wow.
So, ugh, yeah,
It
and
does
it's
have quite a strong smell when you pop popcorn. It's one of my
yeah.
guilty pleasures. I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what?
Popcorn at
You get
home.
something to enjoy, embrace it.
Yeah.
When you live like we do with we have so many restrictions on our
I
food and our
know.
drinks. It's nice to enjoy something. Like I have sourdough bread. I have to make it myself, but there are people in my world who are celiac and they can't actually walk into my house because
Yeah.
of the wheat I have to use to make my bread. So I'm
Mm.
like, I'm
Ah,
not going to say sorry because I want bread.
and
And it's
then
the only bread I
perfumes.
get.
I don't have a perfume allergy, but realizing I'm becoming more sensitive to them. Like
Yeah.
somewhere I went today, I went into my gym today and there was someone had sprayed something. As I walked past the changing room, I was like, oh, my chest was tightening. And I thought, I have people who write to me about their perfume allergies and they can't go on the tube, they can't even go into certain workplaces.
Yep.
That must
Yep.
be really hard.
It
I am
it
just
actually really
very
is.
conscious, but it doesn't affect me as badly as it does some people.
Yep. I'm affected by perfumes as well, but the
Mm.
alcohol used in perfumes is ethyl alcohol, so it's a corn-based alcohol. So corn is everywhere. It is everywhere.
So are there perfumes that you are okay with, like essential oils that you can have? No,
Essential oils are not what you think they are.
no.
They are not true to what again, it's another marketing sleight of hand. They're trying to convince people it's something it's not. And
Mm.
legally they can do it because there's no regulation around what that's supposed to be.
There's no ingredients on it, is there? Although there
There
is.
are, they just don't report them. They can
Somebody
put them
gave
out.
me some tea tree oil the other day because I love tea tree oil. And there
Right.
was something weird about it. I put it in my bath and I was like, oh, that smells
Yep.
different. When I read it, it had like 10 things in there, and one
It
of them
shouldn't.
was tea tree oil, but
Yeah.
I had to not I have given it away because it's I daren't get in that bath. It made me wheeze just standing next to it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what was in it.
Nope. And that's just it's common practice. It's, when I originally over a decade ago when I started down my journey, my big issue with essential oils was actually all the plastics used in the creation, which then would seep into.
Mm,
But since then, essential oils have really branched into adding more chemicals so you can make it go out farther, right? So you can
yeah.
make more, sell more, but it's much more diluted and it's everything else that people get sick to. So
I'm gonna have to research where I get mine from because I do buy quite expensive, what I think are 100% pure, but maybe they're not. I don't know.
double check. You
Yeah.
never know. Yep, it's amazing what goes into an essential oil. Like I
Mm,
said, and I know corn is heavily involved because I'm allergic to all essential oils. But I'm
mm.
also allergic to all medications, all supplements, all vitamins. Like if I get sick, that's it. I had a doctor like roll his eyes at me when I told him how sensitive I was to corn and how I can't do any of the medications. And
Mm.
he's like, "So what's going to happen if you get cancer?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to die then, aren't I?" Like, I don't know. Oh, no, suddenly I'm fine. Like, it doesn't work that
No,
way.
it doesn't. They are all corn-based, aren't they? And I have problems with some that are dairy-based. They have milk in them, a lot of
Yeah.
medications.
Yep.
And they don't give me anaphylaxis, but they make me feel unwell. And I
Yep.
sometimes I've managed to take the course of medicine, but it's kind of counterproductive when you're all now having migraines and dizziness.
Right. And then you lose like 3 to 4 days of your life because you're trying to get better.
Yeah,
The
make it make
irony.
sense. And alcohol. It's milk in alcohol. I don't know if there's corn in alcohol, but they put milk in a lot of wine.
Yeah. Oh,
Mad.
I have stories on that one. That's like a whole nother session. Yes,
Sign me up.
there is lots of corn in wine. It is from the processing to it is everywhere. I have to be so specific on
Mm.
because wine is something I actually didn't want to give up. I gave up so many other fun things in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, no, me
I
too.
I want to imbibe occasionally, but the process I have to go through is intense. And our trip to France actually made me realize the different in yeast used, because yeast is going to be a huge thing for all
Mm.
alcohol production. And the United States, and including, I believe, French champagne, they use commercialized yeast, and
Ah,
commercialized yeast is grown on corn. So that's why I have so many issues with American wine, and I've never found a French champagne that I can drink. Now, when we were in
no.
Alsace, I was able to drink the regional sparkling wine, Crème d'Alsace, fantastic. I was able to drink white wines for the first time in a decade. Yeah, I
I
enjoyed
do
myself.
find French wines good for me, actually.
Yeah, yeah. They have a whole different mentality into making their wines, making sure things are organic, but
Mm.
it really seems to be coming down to the yeast they use, the very basic of getting that alcohol fermented. So,
Mm.
like the sugars used, everything is so much cleaner versus Germany, the United States, and Italy are the top three I have to be super careful with drinking. I
Mm.
actually have a German wine importer, and I finally found two sparkling wines I can get from Germany, but that's it. The white wines, the red wines, they all make me sick. And
Mm.
again, I think it goes back to yeast. Fun times. The things I've had to learn.
You need to have your own vineyard.
Yeah, in France, because I'm not doing it here.
No.
Although with climate change coming, I could probably get a vineyard growing, north of London.
Yeah, we do have really good wine here. There's two vineyards near me, and the wine is good from those
Excellent. Well,
vineyards. Yeah.
now I have to come visit.
Quite dry, crisp wine, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
I'm a good wine.
that leads in quite nicely to your book, which you mentioned before we came online. So, and I think we need to have another chat about your book, but what's your new book about?
So the hidden consumer is my journey with having how I had to understand how ingredients are made and decoding ingredient labels. But I'm a historian by trade, so I do a lot of research and I wanted to look into the sources, right? So like between 90 and 92% of corn grown in the US is not grown for human consumption. It's fed to our animals and it makes our ingredients for all of our food. So lab created ingredients are where I have a huge issue because it's the GMO corn. The problem with this corn is it's typically grown on a corporate farm, which means they're going to be using pesticides and fertilizers. And unfortunately, it is the GMO. But the problem with the GMO corn isn't that it's a GMO corn, it's that there's no nutrients in the soil. So when vegetables are grown in the soil that is so heavily doused with pesticides and fertilizers, that aren't natural, there's no nutrients left for the vegetable to get any substance or any nutritional value for you. So if you look at like American food products that are prepackaged, you buy them in the grocery store, high calorie count, low nutritional value, it all can be go back to that one point in the dirt where there's no nutrients left. So the soil biome has been destroyed. And then I go into a whole other line, like my book in 140 pages, I cover so much detail.
I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, that's the basis.
Yeah. It's terrifying because we just go in the shops and trust that we're
We
buying a carrot and that all carrots are equal and they're
in
perhaps
there.
they're not.
No, and even here in the United States, organic doesn't mean organic.
Mm.
So, if you're like, I'm allergic to organic produce in a store, but I moved to California because I can buy certified California organic and not have a reaction. And the difference is the certified California organic is true organic, no pesticides, no fertilizers in the ground or anywhere else. USDA organic, it's still been sprayed. So you're still dealing with pesticides once it's in the grocery store.
Mm.
So
After it's grown, it's then needs to have a longer life, so they spray it.
they,
And it doesn't wash off, does it?
it does
Probably.
not. It does not. And what they recommend to wash it off is vinegar, and vinegar is made from corn. So obviously, I'm still going to get sick. And I tried washing it with like safe detergents, just water, and you can't. You really,
Mm.
especially on like the softer vegetables, if you think like a carrot or potatoes, where those pesticides can be absorbed into the meat of the
Mm.
vegetable, you can't wash that out. Like it's
Mm.
absorbed. You might have better luck with a watermelon. You might have better luck with, say, cantaloupe. But like bananas, what I discovered the hard way, because I actually almost went Anna on eating a banana because they gas
Good.
them with ethyl gas to make
Wow.
them ripen faster to get them shipped out to stores. So yeah, it's a good time. So I write about all this and I'm like, and the amazing thing is the book has led to a whole new line of business because more people want to learn about this. How do we keep our families safe? I'm
Mm.
struggling. I keep the amount of people who are struggling even with like hair loss or eczema because of food that
Mm.
they've never had to experience before. Um, I can actually help people understand, and we can start doing an elimination and
Mm.
talk about where are all the things. It's been one of the things on my journey that surprises me is like people who have a specific allergen, but they don't realize the ingredients they're eating are made from their allergen. Like they don't like it's, and that's what I do. I do research. I know things.
No, it's fascinating. Have you heard the phrase the canary in the
The coal mine, yeah,
tunnel, in
yeah.
the coal mine? I sometimes feel like down about how sensitive I am, but actually I feel like it's a blessing because would we be doing all of this research and being so careful about what we ate or drink, you and I, if we didn't have such drastic
So
consequences?
drastic. And what's interesting is you and I, we truly are those canaries because we're reacting in a specific way, but other people are having other reactions to the same thing we're reacting to. So like one of the stats that came out of my book was the age group between 30 and 40 years old in the United States have the highest rate of kidney disease and kidney failure because of the amount of sugars in their diet. A lot of them are hidden. So if you come to the US, the joke is there's a dialysis center on the same block as Starbucks. They're everywhere.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
it,
your
yeah.
coffees are like syruped up, aren't they?
Oh, so bad. Yes.
We, yeah, I mean we have Starbucks here, but they're not quite as popular as the other
I think
one.
it, I think some of it comes down to the regulations around how they have to market their product. And in the United States, there's so much hidden sugar that's unregulated that, and sh we know sugar is as addictive as cocaine. So
Mm.
my question to people now is, do you actually like Starbucks? Do you actually like the taste of the food you're eating anywhere? Or are you just addicted to it?
And it's a good
And
brand. Like people get the card and they get like a free coffee every now and then, and
yeah,
you're really like
yeah,
loyal to
yeah.
them. But
Right. But what's interesting is a majority of people who have food sensitivities can't tolerate Starbucks because
I
Starbucks isn't a food sensitive safe brand.
no, I could
So,
only have a black coffee or a herbal tea in there anyway, and
yeah,
I don't really like
yeah.
their coffee, so I don't go in there.
I like finding mom and pop shops that work with like organic free trade and you're supporting a
Yeah.
family farmer somewhere.
And this is what I've discovered actually about coffee, and I don't know how true this is, but I was reacting to some coffee shops, mainly the big chain
Big
ones. If I
ones.
go to
Yep.
independent ones, and I read that there could be anything in there. It's not just coffee. It's not just coffee
Yep.
grounds. It could be soya. It could be
Mhm.
it could be the things I'm allergic to in the coffee grounds.
Yep. And the larger the coffee chain, the more likely they're buying through a corporate farming. So
Mm,
there's a whole other list of things that so that processing isn't going to be on point. The roasting process can be a huge issue for people. I know it is for me now. So yeah, it's
mm.
that was because coffee was one of those things I didn't want to give up either. Like wine, coffee, and chocolate. I am going to find a way to keep those three things in my diet.
Yeah. I do my own coffee at home, so I found some that are okay. And
Yeah.
then there's
Yep.
mold in coffee that you have to be careful of as well.
Right? Well, yep. Again, it's another reason why I go with like I buy from coffee importers who
Mm,
deliberately are buying from those small farmers because their inventory isn't going to sit and mold. They get it out faster. So
mm.
it's so important. And I grind my own beans at home. I'm like,
Me
there's
too.
no, yeah, because again, it's one more step in processing. What are they doing when they grind those beans
Mm.
on mass level? So
It's like a
yes.
nice ritual though for me. It makes me mindful. I can't have too much coffee because I'm so sensitive to the caffeine, but it makes me mindful. I only need one coffee a day and I really enjoy making it. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
buy nice beans and I grind them and
And we go, and
otherwise I
that
do have too much coffee and then I'm just can't sleep at all. I'm wired.
I probably needed to tone down my coffee intake, but for me, it's a ritual. Like
Yeah.
coffee and teas are my ritual. And teas are the same as coffee. I have to be so specific. I deal with an
Mm.
importer, loose leaf teas only. I have my own
Mm.
stainless steel. It's crazy. It's crazy the detail we have to put into just
It
enjoying
is.
something.
Yes.
All right. Ruth, it was so fun talking to you. I've got the links to your books in the chat. So anyone, if you want to check out more about Ruth and what she's up to, go ahead, get her book. And I put my information. I'm launching a whole new line of products, as well as obviously the book, but with the new line of business coming out. If you want to learn more about me and the business coming, make sure you join the newsletter right after November 1st. Only newsletters. People will get an exclusive first peek and option to get on my calendar for food coaching. So join up now and I will keep you in the loop of all the fun stuff coming for 2026. And with that, Ruth, I have to have you back. We'll have to figure it out. I'm doing a webinar series next year called What's on Your Table, and I think you would be a lot of fun to come in and talk
Oh
about
God,
luck.
I'd love to. And I'm really looking forward to buying your book so we can have a chat about that as well privately.
I,
But yeah.
yeah, I'm getting both of your books. I think they'd be helpful for my clients too. So,
Mm, I will
um,
send you
so
some.
I'm so excited. You have to, I'm going to buy them. I prefer to support people, so let me buy them.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys next week with more information on what's on your table. Have a great day.
Bye bye.
Eh.